Welcome to the podcast. Today, I'm excited to introduce to you a mother and daughter team. So this special team, a mother and daughter who not only share their halter horses, but also share the road, the early mornings, the late nights, and the endless love for this sport. They juggle training and traveling, competing together. And when they're not on the road, mom is still managing the rest of the family in a full-time career. So their story is one of partnership, balance, and the kind of teamwork that you find in a family. So please welcome with me Ami Bennett and Kendall to the podcast. Thank you, ladies.
Hi, Amy. How are you?
Great, great. I'm excited to get to know you. I've been watching your journey this summer and your amazing outfits. Random side note, but amazing outfits. We
Thank
get
you.
inspiration from one another.
Ah,
So let's just start with hearing how you first got into showing halter horses.
the halter has always been a passion of mine. Going back, we moved from Washington State. So in Washington, there are not very many halter horses. And so we would occasionally see trainers come to our area and they would have these fabulous halter horses. And I wanted to know more about it. And uh, halter seemed to be something that I could do as a DIY person at home when there
Mm-hmm.
wasn't access to a lot of trainers in our area.
Mm-hmm.
So that really gave us like the first step, like, oh, I could have a horse like that. I could work this horse at home. And I was so intrigued by how different the horses looked than
Mm,
the riding horses.
yeah. Um, and then your first halter horse. Let's talk about that one. Was that a together horse, or was that just you, Amy?
I had halter horses before I had kids. And
Mm-hmm.
so I did a little bit of showing in my 20s. And so before we even had, before I was married, before we had kids, we showed halter horses, and mostly paints in the
Uh-huh.
Northwest. And we did some pinto and open shows. In the Northwest, they also have a lot of open shows, which is a
Okay.
little bit different than down here in Texas. But so the first one, was an older aged gelding that I
Mm-hmm.
had gotten through a trainer that lives in Texas that's still our friend, 20 plus years later. And it had been a successful show horse down in Texas. And then we were able to pick it up and bring it up to Washington, where it was a huge success. Uh, so uh, Buying something that was kind of already a proven product and I just
Mm-hmm.
maintained it at home was kind of our first step into it.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. So then, what did it look like from that season of life to maybe fast forward to today when you became a team working together, showing halter horses, sharing perhaps even the same horse? Um, when did you realize that that was definitely a priority for the two of you?
Yes, so halter is so great because it can get a young, small rider in the
Hmm.
pen
Hmm.
and give them that show experience.
Hmm.
When there's lead line, obviously, for small kids in the riding classes, but in the halter, there's also, small kids can get in there and show a horse. And as we were selecting horses, once I had children, it always was important to me that they had a good
Hmm.
attitude, right? That they were
Hmm.
safe for the
Hmm.
family because when my kids were even smaller than, horse showing age, they would
Hmm.
be in the barn with us and at the horse shows. So having something safe was number one. And then Kendall had that desire to get out there and show and be part of it. She's a natural showman, and so we had these great horses. They were very calm disposition wise, so it was just an
Hmm.
easy step to get into the halter.
Yeah.
And to truth be told, she haltered one of our riding horses first,
Hmm.
and it wasn't the best halter horse by any means, but it was safe, and it was
Hmm.
kind of an intro to showmanship for her. So like before she was like when she was about 5 years old, before
Uh-huh.
she was ready to learn those showmanship patterns, we were like, you know what, just take that horse out there and set it up and practice doing all of that. And
Hmm.
halter kind of got her into that part of it.
Yeah. So you've touched on that transition, why don't you just take a few minutes to tell us about the horses that you have, and maybe any of the stories that are behind them?
Yeah, so we just had a very successful quarter horse youth world
Uh-huh.
with our filly, yearling filly, she sails. And
Mhm.
so she has a special story because she came from our trainer, Kelly Wainscott's barn, but Kelly
Mhm.
had selected her with her client that had recently passed away this year. And Dr. Leggett had chosen her because he, obviously she's beautiful and well bred, and he wanted to compete at the World Show and win a Globe. And so when he passed away, Kelly had this horse in her barn. And I had talked to Kelly probably 8 months ago and said, hey, I'd really like an aged gelding for Kendall. If you come across anything, let me know. And so we weren't clients of hers by any means. We were just past, those
Uh-huh.
conversations you have in the warm-up pen.
Sure.
And
Sure.
so she called me one day and said, hey, I don't have an age gelding for you, but how about a yearling for your daughter? And you think, oh, I've got a 10-year-old daughter and a
Mhm.
yearling. Do you think?
Uh-huh.
And she said, this is a really special yearling, and she's very sweet. And I think I can make a good team out of them. So we have her. And then we have a 3-year-old mare, quarter horse mare. She's 1 in a trillion. And she came from another amateur family that all generations had shown her. So the amateur handler, the select handler, and then they had a granddaughter that had shown her.
Mm.
And so again, one of those things, we're looking for something special that would be sweet for Kendall to show. And we also have a younger, Kendall has a younger brother, Carter, who occasionally will step out and show a halter horse. So I thought, well, maybe we can get him into the level 1 next year
Mhm.
to play.
Uh-huh.
We had a 3-year-old gelding. Unfortunately, he passed away after the Pinto World Show. That
Okay.
he was
Mm.
great as well. And then
Mhm.
with our riding horse, we have that's one that we share quite a bit.
Uh-huh.
His name is One Lazy Cowboy. And we both do the walk trot events with him with the paints. And we did Pinto and we did Buckskin World with him again this year. And we just have a great time with him. And
Yeah.
he is definitely not a halter horse. He is that older riding style, but
Uh-huh.
so sometimes we wish we had a halter horse when we have to show him like in the performance halter. We're like, we really wish we had one of our good ones here, but we love him for all the other things that he does.
Yeah. That's
And then
quite a
at
crew.
home, we have another aged gelding that was a past world champion for us that we kind of showed all over. And then we don't like to sell those aged geldings after they're done winning for our family. We like to keep them as pets, and they live the cush retirement life.
Mm. Nice.
Those are our main ones. Yeah.
Okay. Kendall, why don't you tell us, like, what's your favorite thing about each of those horses? It sounds like you were showing three. Your she sails, she's 1 in a trillion, and one lazy cowboy. Is that it?
Yes.
Okay. Tell us, what's your favorite thing about each of those horses?
Well, both of the halter horses, very nice. The
Uh-huh.
one riding horse has a lot of personality.
He does. He does have a lot of personality. The halter horses have personality too, but the riding horse definitely he has some quirks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
What did
then
it? Yeah. Go ahead.
and then do you have what out of those two halter horses, do you have a favorite
The riding,
of the two halter horses?
the baby one.
Yeah, Ruby.
Yeah.
So
Oh, Ruby.
Ruby, and that wasn't a partnership that was an immediate bond. That's kind of an
Mm.
interesting,
Yeah.
you see them in the pin. If you saw them
Mm-hmm.
show at the World Show this year, it came together beautifully, but it has been many miles and many visits to different show arenas to really
Uh-huh.
perfect that. It wasn't just instant chemistry there. But
Yeah.
they really have a unique bond now, and they've really pulled it together.
Mm.
And then
That takes a lot of hard work, doesn't it?
yeah. And then Dixie, the 3-year-old mare, we
Uh-huh.
haven't had her very long, so we've only shown
Okay.
her a few times. So we're still getting to know her, and that does take a while with when you're switching out horses. You're
Mhm.
learning what they like and what works, and it's a challenge because both Kendall and I are not very tall ladies. I'm about 5'1", and I'm not sure how tall
I'm
Kendall is.
4'3".
Oh, Kendall says she's 4'3".
4'3". All right.
And our 3-year-old mare is a solid 16'2". It's like is a big gal. So when she shows and she has to put that neck
Uh-huh.
and head up there, it's a little tough for Kendall to get her fully where she needs to be.
Uh-huh. So it sounds like there's a lot of mixing back and forth of who shows. How do you decide who is showing in what classes?
Well, when we got the quarter horse yearling mare, I had
Mhm.
never shown any quarter horse before. So
Okay.
Kelly thought that that would be a great intro horse for us to kind of see how the quarter horse world is different than the paints.
Mhm.
And so, and Kelly was like, what's really cool about quarter horses, they have these different levels that, with different experience, it's not just the
Mhm.
same old kids and the same old horses winning year after
Mhm.
year. You've got the level
Mhm.
2 and the level 3. Fortunately, Kendall had already won a world title the year before at paint. So she started in the level 2 right off the bat. And then so in the quarter horse, it was pretty easy. She was just going
Mhm.
to show the yearling mares in the
Mhm.
quarter horse, and then I do the amateur, and then the trainers show her in the open. And
Gotcha.
then for the riding horse, it kind of with the walk trot divisions, sometimes the amateur and the youth divisions are back to back in classes. So that means our trainers have to take saddles off, saddles on, and do a whole tack switch out. So we
Mhm.
kind of look at a show schedule beforehand and think,
Mhm.
is that going to be too much for Kendall, too much for the horse? Is she going to have plenty of time to warm up for her class and her pattern? So we really actually trust our trainers on what classes we go
Mhm.
in and what shows we
Mhm.
need to be at. Uh, we have a really good team that helps us there.
Yeah. It sounds like it. It sounds like you guys have a pretty well-run operation when you get to a
Yes.
horse show. So then what's the best part and maybe the hardest part about competing together?
I would say that the challenge is that schedule sometimes. So,
Mhm. Mhm.
we both love the writing, we love showing, but if it is ever a schedule conflict that is just going to be too close to do a tack change,
Mhm.
I always
Mhm.
bow out because I want her to get all that experience moving forward.
Mhm.
It really is about my kids and making sure that they get all of the experiences showing. I feel like I got that when I was younger, so this is their time to do that.
Yeah.
And in the Halter, there's really not a conflict because they have,
Mhm.
your youth classes and your amateur and your open are always separate. So
Mhm.
no conflicts there.
And I just do what they tell me to do.
Yeah. Kendall's a good student.
That's fantastic. And there'll come a day where you've got to make those decisions, Kendall.
Yes.
Those days are coming. So then how do you keep things fun at the horse shows?
Well, Kendall is a fun girl anyway. Like Kendall can find a friend, a stray dog. Like she always has a group around her.
Take
Mhm.
horse on a walk for
She
some
takes
reason.
her horse on a walk at the show.
Good
We
idea.
try to keep it very low key.
Mhm.
And I think that again goes to like the trainers that you're in the barn and the
Mhm.
kind of the whole feel of that barn. All the
Mhm.
trainers we work with are very family friendly and they love kids and they really, that's the heart of what they do. They love seeing kids thrive and learn and they keep it very fun. And we
Mhm.
love programs that have other kids in them. That was really important to me when selecting trainers. Are
Mhm.
there other kids or would
Yeah.
Kendall just be the only youth exhibitor? And
Mhm.
all the barns that we work with all have other kids in their program too. And so, and kids that love horses, they instantly have something in common. So that just creates a bond right there. And so the fun kind of just happens on its own. And I will
Yeah.
say, at our longer shows, like the Pinto World, where we're there for, the
Mm-hmm.
whole duration, 2 weeks, I really love the other barn moms that are in our area. And we'll kind of say, hey, we'll go to the water park
Uh-huh.
one day and we'll go to the aquarium the next day.
Put
And
a hammock in a stall, swing around for some reason.
someone put a hammock in a stall.
Good
It was
idea.
a great entertainment thing for a few days. And so we try to keep it light because this is fun for us. This is our outlet. It's not our business by any means. And if it's not fun, you shouldn't do it. So
That's right. That's right. It takes a lot of time and effort and money to do it. It ought to be
yes,
fun.
for sure.
So let's talk a little bit about traveling. What does it look like on a typical show weekend when you start to pack the truck and you're getting ready to head out?
Yeah, so our riding horses are with the Christiansens and Pilot Point. So
Okay.
we are very fortunate that they haul our horses 90% of the time for us. And
Mm-hmm.
then the two quarter horses are with Kelly and Adam Wainscott. So
Uh-huh.
they're doing the hauling and the packing. But in
Yeah.
the old days, we used to we still have our big living quarters horse trailer, and we would start earlier in the week, like a Wednesday if we had to leave on Friday, and start packing
Yep.
all of those things. And so it's a little bit different to go and have your horses
Mm-hmm.
already there for you, but we still pack a lot of things, and we usually travel now in our minivan. And the minivan, soccer mom van, we can put all our show clothes in there and makeup kits. And you would think, even though the trainer is hauling most of the tack and everything, we can still fill a minivan with things needed for horse showing.
Yeah. Kendall, what are some things you won't leave home without? What are some of the favorite things you always grab that make sure they get to the van?
A pillow.
Uh-huh.
Always a pillow, yeah.
I get to sleep and she doesn't.
Yep. Kendall is a great passenger. She goes to sleep and enjoys the ride.
Nice.
We always have snacks of some sort in the car. Yeah.
Of course.
And we love a truck stop. We stop at many truck stops along the way.
Get those little Oreo ice cream bites.
Yep.
Yeah.
That sounds good. I haven't tried
Yep.
those on a road trip, but I will have to test that out next horse show.
Yes.
Okay.
An iPad. We always have an iPad charger.
What else? Anything else, Kendall? Snacks,
So.
iPad, pillow. All right. Do you guys bring a dog with you? Do you travel with a dog?
No dog.
Okay. So, any favorite travel memories? Something funny that happened, something that you saw that was just kind of silly? Any misadventures that have happened to you on the road?
We have stayed in some kind of sketchy hotels by accident.
Okay.
We with my business, we travel quite a bit, and so we usually stay at like a Hilton or a Marriott or something like that. But I needed to add a day, like we were going to come to a show early, and so I think this was in Oklahoma City, and I was like, perfect, we'll just get something close to the airport. And so Kendall learned that not all hotels are the same. They are not all Marriotts. And what did you say about the bedspread?
Oh, there was like a brown stain.
Ooh.
And when we're traveling, we often listen to true crime podcasts. And she was
Okay.
she was hoping that it wouldn't be an episode of a true crime podcast by staying in that hotel. It was a little sketchy, but we made it through the night, and then we got to our good hotel the next night. But as far as like mayhem on the road, it's pretty low key. We haven't had any major mishaps, and we hit those truck stops. We always stock up on our snacks, and we just try to have a good time. And One cool thing that we do, and
Mhm.
we couldn't do this if we had a horse trailer, is if we see like a
Mm.
random park or like a sign for like a waterfall, we will just pull in
Uh-huh.
and check it out along the way, because a lot of these shows we're traveling to in this Texas, Oklahoma area, we've never been to those facilities before
Mm.
because we're new
Mhm.
to the area. So
Mhm.
we have found some really cool waterfall park recreation kind of things just by stopping and seeing the signs. So we're always open to pulling over, and we leave a little extra time when we're traveling so that we can find an adventure along the way.
I love it. I love it. So, how do you balance um, school and maybe homework if you have to miss school, and show schedules? How do you balance all of that?
I haven't gotten any homework while we're on a show yet, so
Good.
Yes.
Excellent. Yes.
And we try to minimize our days missed from school, and
Mhm.
be selective with our horse shows. Most of the time, our halter is on a weekend, so the
Mhm.
halter really hasn't impacted that too much. But and then in the summertime when we have those long world shows where school's out during those times,
Yep.
so that makes it
Yeah.
nice.
Excellent. So, Amy, you're not only show partner with Kendall, but mom managing a family and a career. How do you keep all those plates spinning at home?
Yeah, so I'm very lucky. I've been married to my sweet husband, Brian, for over 20 years. And so he does a great job of managing things at home and helping with the business. And he helps with the horses, clean stalls at home. So I've got a very good partner, which makes life easy. And then business wise, I'm an insurance agent, and we own that insurance brokerage up in, or it's an Allstate agency up in Washington State.
Uh-huh.
And luckily, I'm able to work remote, and, that was kind of a blessing of COVID. We figured out how to
Mhm.
run businesses remotely, and that has really helped in the horse show world because I can take a laptop and I have Wi-Fi, and I can really run my business from wherever we're at. So, if you ever come by our stalls during a world show, I probably have a laptop. I always have two cell phones going, and we always we just make it happen. So
Make it happen. Yep.
and my dad decided that he fell in love with this random gray horse with one blue eye that doesn't do anything.
Uh-huh.
yes, and we got him into horses is what Kendall's trying to say. So he wasn't
Excellent.
originally a horse lover, but we got a horse and we gave it to him, and so that kind of roped him into to the horse care, and so now he handles that.
Do you still have the gray horse with the blue eye?
Yeah.
We do, yeah.
Excellent.
Her
Excellent.
name's
Dad's
Joy.
favorite. Joy. I
Yeah.
like it. I like it. So anything that you're learning, maybe Kendall, you could tell us, anything you're learning when you show horses and in the show pen that's spilling over into maybe some of the things you do at home or at school.
Not really.
No?
About your practicing. That
Yeah.
the importance of practicing till you get it right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you play an instrument? No, just horses?
Just horses. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Kendall's a diligent practicer, in any lesson
Yeah.
with her trainers. So, even, people think, oh, with halter, you're just standing there with a horse, but real halter people know that that is not the
We
case.
know that's not true.
Yep. So she is very willing to like get out there and practice early in the morning. We drive about 45 minutes to the riding horse trainer, and she rides out there a couple hours a week, practicing that, practicing any patterns for any upcoming shows. And um, we one thing that I think is really cool about horse showing and like lessons in life
Mhm.
is
Mhm.
the importance of being able to take direction from other adults, not just your parent. And
Mm.
that, in the workplace and in life, you're going to have to
Mhm.
take some direction from other people. And people have different approaches and different tones of voice. And
Mhm.
she really takes direction well and applies the lessons there to get
Mhm.
better.
Mhm.
Though I
And
will
I
not
guess,
tolerate
yeah.
pink. I will not tolerate pink whatsoever.
Oh, she's talking about her show colors, that
Mm.
she's very opinionated on her colors of her outfits, which
No pink
no pink.
No pink. Okay.
or purple.
Hey, what's your favorite color to show in?
Green or blue.
Ah,
So
and those colors go well with sorrel. I think at least one of your horses is sorrel, right?
Yep, both are sorrel.
Awesome. Very cool. So then it sounds like, as far as the kinds of things that you've observed that are important traits in Kendall, or the student athlete, if you will, sounds like the selection of the trainer is particularly important in making sure that it's somebody who is well versed in adapting to youth and learning styles and all of that.
Yes, yes. And I think, location is important with trainers too. We were lucky to work with Chris Aronson the year before. I had a futurity horse and
Mhm.
a goal to go to the BHF. So he helped me
Mhm.
with that goal. And I love Chris, but he is across the country from
Right,
us.
right.
And I knew that Kendall would not get as much practice time with a horse in Chris's program, where
Mhm.
Kelly is 35 minutes from our doorstep. And I knew that, they're both great halter trainers, but I felt like, Kelly's going to be able to give those actual halter lessons on a
Mhm.
more regular basis and really teach Kendall how to be a great halter handler. And
Mhm.
so, and in the riding horses too, it was important that I went with a trainer that had success with kids, because teaching a kid versus teaching an adult can be two totally different things. And
Yeah.
uh, the desire and the love for kids, I think, is
Mhm.
really special.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. So, what's maybe one habit that you think sets each of you apart, not from one another, but perhaps has helped in your success in showing?
Well, I would say, well, for me, a structure and a schedule is very
Mm.
important. So we
Uh-huh.
wouldn't be able to go to all the places and all the things if I didn't have a set schedule.
Mhm.
And that goes from, from work to showing horses. Like, we know how long it's going to take us to get from a hotel to the showgrounds and what time we need to be there before our classes and things like that.
Yeah.
Um, I would say you're a pretty structured girl too.
No.
No?
I'll if you don't set like a schedule or anything, I'll just go out there.
No?
Or I'll stay in bed.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm.
You do like
I
to
like
Mhm.
sleep in more than me.
yes.
Yeah.
What other thing has helped you?
Are you a good listener?
Kendall's a very good listener.
Yeah.
Yes. I would say all the professionals that have worked with Kendall all
Uh-huh.
say,
Yeah.
she's like a sponge, and that she really takes that information in and learns and applies it.
Yeah. That's important. So, um, how do you prepare when you're about to walk into the ring? How do you prepare your mind, or maybe your level of nervousness? Anything you do or think about to help you?
No, my mind just like shuts off, really.
Okay. Shuts off. Are you nervous before you go in the pen?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
sometimes the baby horse gets a little
Uh-huh. A little
She can get
excited?
excited, yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, but you wouldn't know it if you saw Kendall show. Her face is calm,
Yeah.
and she turns it on. So I don't know. I'm a visual person, so
Mm.
like before if we're still in the stalls, I'm visualizing my go. I'm visualizing being at that start cone, looking at
Mhm.
those judges, a straight line track, and how I'm going to set that horse up, and
Mhm.
really thinking of how I want that presentation to look.
Mhm. Yeah. Makes a big difference.
Yes.
So is there anything that you had to learn the hard way? Maybe something happened in the show pen that taught you a pretty good lesson that you would want to share with anybody who's listening?
No, I mean,
That's great.
if you're like on a
Mhm.
riding horse, because one time
Uh-huh.
we were at like a open show, I
Uh-huh.
was on my riding horse, like one of my old riding horses, and then a horse backed straight into his face,
Mm,
and I was just like
mm.
staying calm. So
Yeah.
luckily my horse didn't bite that horse's butt.
Yep. So Kendall has learned like being calm and being the voice of reason for our horse friends sometimes in chaotic situations. And there was a horse at the Youth World this year that flipped over right next to her, and she was
Mm.
very calm and
Good job.
where sometimes our halter horse friends can be excitable, and that Kendall was able to just be cool and calm. I actually can think of several times when your halter horses jumped around and you just
I remember
you
Star when she reared up at Halter
yep,
or something.
yep, and being calm and having
That
it
was
all
fun.
together. And I'll agree. Like, I used to be more reactive when I was showing, and I have found that, the less you react when your horse is scared, or, something in the stands may set them off, the calmer I can just be
Hmm.
and make my energy be that how important that is.
Yeah. Yeah. What's something you think or you wish people understood about what it's like to be an amateur exhibitor?
That is an interesting one, because I think, like, more so in the halter,
Hmm.
people think that showing halter horses is easy, and that,
Hmm.
the biggest one wins, and they don't realize like how different a horse can be from handler to handler, and just in your
Mm.
perfection of your
Hmm.
setup.
Hmm.
So, I think probably the misconception I see the most is that showing is easy, and
Mm.
that it really does. The better you practice, the better you perform, and uh, that it can be great or it can be terrible, and with the same
Yeah.
horse, it
Right.
just depends on how you present them.
Yeah. So you've mentioned the client trainer relationship a couple of times, the different
Yeah.
people that you have connected with. What are some ways that you have built a strong relationship with the trainer that you have, or maybe some folks that you've had in the past?
Yeah. I would say, if you asked any of them, they would all say that I'm a great communicator, and that I'm very goal oriented. So I
Hmm.
like to tell them what my goal is,
Hmm.
and this has been a change over the years. So in the past, I would shop for a horse, and I would find a horse that I thought was beautiful, and then I
Hmm.
would take it to the trainer that I thought would do the best job with it.
Hmm.
And I have learned that if I first trust the professional and then have the professional help me select a horse that's going to work better in their program,
Uh-huh.
that has given me much more success than the other way around. Uh, and that took me a long time. I'm 45, and I've just recently learned that in the last couple years, that trust the professional first, have
Hmm.
them help you select a horse, and that's going to work best in their program, because that could be a
Hmm.
different horse depending on the trainer.
Hmm.
And then going back to the communication, naturally in my business, I have to be a good communicator, and
Hmm.
tell people good news and bad news, especially in the insurance world. Sometimes we're not people's favorite phone call to make,
Sure.
but so much of the drama, I guess, I hear from other amateurs with
Hmm.
trainers and barns
Hmm.
and show barns and whatnot, really comes down to communication, and letting the trainer know from the beginning, like, what your goal is and what you're feeling, and asking good questions about their program, and if anything doesn't feel right, instead of talks behind people's backs, and posts and texts and drama.
Sure.
I'm a very non-drama person, and so I work with trainers that I can have an open conversation with, and
Hmm.
I am a good horse owner too, where I want that feedback from them if
Mhm.
if I haven't done something right, or if they don't think Kendall's been prepared, something on my end, I want them to tell
Uh-huh.
me so that we
Yeah.
can improve.
Yeah.
And
Um,
it's odd how
yeah.
much, communication really comes up and is such a problem, and is really like the number one reason I hear from people, like when relationships don't work out in the horse world. It's like,
Mhm.
I didn't know this and they didn't know that. And I was like, well, could you just communicate? Could you just pick up the phone and call them and tell them that you felt that way? And I'm like, no, that'd be too obvious. So
Um, you, the two of you have had quite a bit of success this summer, and it sounds like several of the building blocks that you've talked about already perhaps have contributed to your success with the new APHA incentive called Paint Points. So I understand that
yes,
you guys are the top earners, uh,
yes.
and that is just the first half, essentially, of the show season. Tell us a little bit more about that.
I honestly have to say I had not researched that program very much. I
Uh-huh,
knew that there were some new fees added
uh-huh,
to our paint show bill,
uh-huh.
but I didn't really give it too much thought. And then the APHA gave me a call and said, "Are you so excited that you're the number one payout of this program?" And I was like, "Yes, sure." And she was like, "Yeah, your payout is almost $5,000." And I was like, yes, I'm very excited about, getting paid to show
Absolutely.
horses. That's the dream, right? So, yeah, that's been really exciting, and it's been fun to see my friends from around the country also get their checks in the mail and be
Mm-hmm.
equally
Mm-hmm.
surprised that,
Mm-hmm.
they did limited showing but did
Uh-huh.
well, and they got
Yeah.
these checks back for their performances.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
And
Congratulations on that.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
It's fun whenever, you can see a program get implemented and then
Mm-hmm.
have such immediate results. I went to an extra horse show this month. I was like, you know what? I got that extra horse showing money. I'll
Mm-hmm.
go to a place I haven't been before. So,
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I suspect that therein lies one of the reasons why APHA put that in place.
right.
Um, you know, you are a living example of that. So,
Yes, for sure. And how cool, for our halter horses and our riding horses that, those classes all pay out well and you get
hmm
a little something back regardless of, what event you show in.
yeah. So, Kendall, what's something you've learned from your mom in showing horses?
Be a good listener.
Mm, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about focus? That's one I say a lot, that we need to be focused on um, the task at hand. So if we're doing a horsemanship pattern, we're not thinking about the showmanship or the trail later, that we are focusing on one thing, completing one
hmm
thing at a time.
I remember this one time I was at like a horse show and I had to do horsemanship. And then I just forgot the pattern midway and I started trotting in circles.
Whoops.
She just did
It
her own
happens.
freestyle pattern.
Yeah, it happens. It's hard to remember a pattern. That's a
Yes.
lot of details. And
And
drive and beach steering and legs and the whole 9 yards. It's a
yeah,
lot.
and a weekend show, you have several patterns that you've got to learn. So got to learn them all in, quick time. And
Yeah. Kendall, do you ever give your mom advice in the show ring?
No,
No.
not
truth
really.
be told, Kendall rarely even watches me show. She goes back to the stall, has a snack,
Lay in the hammock. That's
lays in a
my
hammock, visits with other people.
gets a slushy that I find.
Yeah, she really
Uh-huh.
doesn't like stick around and critique or coach.
You can do that for me.
Yes.
Okay. So you're comfortable with mom helping coach you
Yeah,
sometimes?
Well,
she.
there was a time that I was the only coach when we lived in Washington, and it it definitely put challenges on our relationship, and I felt like it was better to have another adult, not mom, give advice. And so that's my
Yeah.
favorite thing. That kind of brought the the fun back into
Mm.
horse showing for me when the trainers came to our lives, and like they take that over, and I'll be on the side. And as a mom, I try to make sure that, you know, Kendall looks right, her clothes are right, her hair is right. She's mentally in a good space to hear their direction, but when it comes to like direction with the horse, I just leave it to them to
Yeah.
get her and the horse together.
Yeah, absolutely. What's a memory from this summer so far that you'll never forget?
I had my all around horse did some barrels.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. We had a different horse picked out for her to do the Pinto World gaming portion of it.
Uh-huh.
Because our all-around horse, you know, he is not a speed demon, he is not a barrel horse, and we weren't able to take that horse to the Pinto World. So knowing that the gaming events were important to Kendall, her all-around trainers said that she could use her gaming horse or her all-around horse to do the Pinto walk trot gaming.
He
Nice.
got the high point.
Yep, he was even the high point
What?
gaming horse. Yeah.
Don't
Way to go.
underestimate a chunky little Brady.
He
We know
can
better
long
now,
trot
don't
with the
we?
best of them. So
That's awesome. Way to go. Brady the superstar.
yes.
So, what advice would you have for other families' parents, and what advice would you have for other kids, Kendall, that are considering showing?
I don't know.
With parents, you know, if you're going to you know, work with a trainer, make sure, again, it's one you are comfortable communicating with and sharing your goals and making sure that their communication style matches your communication style. And we always, personally, I try to be a sportsmanship ambassador, and obviously there's other kids in our barn that ride with Kendall, and I love them all and I want them all to win. And um, I I think as parents we need to remember that at the end of the day, there are kids and it's supposed to be fun, and that uh, you know, we can take the fun out of it as parents sometimes with our own competitiveness and our own ambitions, but you know, keep it light and keep it about what it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. Any advice from you, Kendall, for kids who want to show?
Not really. Survive.
No? Okay. That's important too.
Maybe listen to your parents, listen to your trainer.
Don't go behind horses with red ribbons in their tails.
Yep, we learned what a
That's
red
an
ribbon
important
meant.
detail.
Yeah.
That's right. A little red ribbon knowledge goes a long way. Anything else?
Not really.
All right. Well, I have some fun questions for you. So what's the first thing that comes to your mind when I ask you, are you a morning person or a night owl?
Probably a night owl.
Okay.
I don't like morning.
What about you, Mom?
I'm a morning person. I'm up before the sun.
All right. What's your favorite show snack?
Cheez-Its.
I like a string cheese.
Ah,
That's what
okay.
string cheese.
A little protein.
Ever see her in the wild, give her some string cheese.
Yep.
I love it.
Also, you can always find a string cheese at a truck stop. Like they always,
This is true.
it's something that they always have when if you need to make a healthy choice.
You're right. Who's the better packer for trips?
Ooh, not Kendall. That is definitely me. We usually
Okay.
have a trip to Target at any given horse show because we haven't packed enough socks or underwear or something like that. So luckily there's usually a Target nearby.
Yeah, I'm the better packer.
What's your dream show destination?
Clark County Fairgrounds.
So Clark County is where we moved from in Washington, and Kendall thinks that that is the number one.
I mean, I was always the champion. One time I got 2 high points. They only let me take 1.
What? Ooh, I'll make
Just
sure I
spread the
don't
word.
tag them in this Facebook post.
Right,
We
exactly.
don't want to draw any attention to that.
Right. We got to go to Ocala this year, which was
Uh-huh.
on my bucket list of places to show. So we checked that one off. I have not been to the Congress, so this will be my first year. So I would say that is going to be my dream destination that we're going to go to this year.
Awesome. Do you have a favorite pre-show song that you play?
No.
We don't really have favorite pre-show songs. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Well,
But
not me.
we like a after we show song. We have like
Ah.
the Champions by Queen. We like to
Yep.
celebrate. And then but most of the time when we are pre-show, we are deep in a podcast or
Yeah.
something like a true crime.
I
We
have-
listen
Yep.
to your podcast quite a bit when we're going to
Great.
Saturday lessons. So
for some
Great.
reason, I always fall asleep listening to true crime, like the worst ones. I always end up
Oh.
falling asleep.
How do you fall asleep when it's so scary? That's impressive.
yeah, sometimes.
It's a talent. That's telling us again about how steady and level-headed you are.
Yes, got to keep calm.
That's right. That's right. It's training you for that show pen. So who
Yeah.
takes longer to get ready, you or your horse?
My horse, because he needs to get his little nails painted.
Yeah,
Mm.
probably Brady. He's probably a little more high maintenance than
He has to have his cookies, or else he will. You better watch out.
It's not pretty.
No,
Okay.
he's
Okay.
very treat focused.
Ah. What's your favorite class to watch? You're not showing in it, but you're watching it.
Jumping, dressage, barrel racing. Yeah.
Okay.
I like a barrel racing, like some kind of a speed event, the opposite of what we do.
Right. One horse you wish you could own that's from any point in time in history.
Secretariat and Sergeant Reckless. It's like a war horse.
Oh, I
And
haven't
if you
heard of
ever go to
Sergeant Reckless.
Ocala,
Okay.
In front of the hotel, you can see that Sergeant Reckless's statue.
there's a big statue there.
Oh,
Really cool.
I know what statue you're talking about. Very cool. And that's the horse's name is Sergeant Reckless?
Yeah.
Awesome. Are you a history buff, Kendall?
No.
No, not necessarily,
But
but
you
a
knew all the
horse lover.
story about that horse before we, so you must be a little bit, because I didn't know who that horse was before we saw the statue, but Kendall knew the whole lowdown on it.
I also
Yeah.
like that like snowman jumping horse.
Yes. Have you read the
Or
book?
the elastic one. Because that elastic horse,
Uh-huh.
also gray, like jumped
Uh-huh.
that really big fence. You
Yeah.
can see, like a video of it.
Yeah. There's a book I just finished recently about snowman. It's really good. You should check it out. It might be maybe an Audible that you could do while you're traveling, but that's a great story. So who's more competitive?
She said it was her. I said it was me, but we both like to win. We
Yeah.
both are very competitive. We also often have competitions when we're practicing about who can catch their diagonal the most.
Which it's always me now.
Who can do a better, cleaner pattern. There's always a competition of some sort.
I love it. I love it. So, ladies, where would we see you? And tell us if you're going to be hitting Halter Million this year, because while we like to hear about the all around and the saddle classes, tell us a little bit about where you'll be for the rest of the season and maybe something special about Halter Million.
I'm not going to Halter Millions.
No.
Yeah, so it falls during her school schedule this year, and so she's not going to show.
Okay.
But I will be at Halter Millions. I love Halter Million. I love WCHA and all those fun futurities. What a great place to see so many great babies and breeding crosses. And, that is really the candy store for halter breeders. And
yes,
it's one of my favorite events of the year.
Yeah. Fantastic. I like the candy store. I hadn't heard that before.
Yes.
That's a great way to describe it. Eye
Yeah,
candy for sure.
For sure. I was so impressed when I went to BHF last year too. That was my first time attending there. And what a great group of babies. And you think, it's early in September, some of those
Mhm.
babies are, just born in March and here
Yeah.
they are, away from home and standing
Yep.
up out there for, an hour in their class with these impeccable manners and beautiful haircoats. And, you think about all the work that goes into those
Mhm.
horses. I'm so in awe of, especially halter breeders and halter trainers that get those babies to
Mhm.
be, little
Yeah.
adults out there, and all the work that goes into that.
Mm.
But
Well,
where you're going to
yeah.
see us, we will be at Halter Million next, and then we are going to go to Las Vegas to the Western National
Okay.
show over there. We haven't been,
Awesome.
Kendall hasn't been to that one before,
I haven't been to,
Okay.
I guess, in general.
so we're
Very
looking
cool.
forward. And during the Las Vegas one is Halloween in Las Vegas, and so Kendall has already designed
Let me tell.
her horse's
Okay.
costume.
He is
Okay.
gonna
Let's
be
hear
a
about it.
a fat old skeleton with a pumpkin hat, because why not?
So she's
I
already got
like
his
it.
costume all ready to go. That's one of those fun things, right?
Yes.
That
I
keeps
love
the
it.
showing fun. Like
Yeah.
Kendall couldn't care what she wore in her outfit for her classes, but she already has the outfit designed for her
Honestly,
horse.
I could be a taco, I wouldn't care, as long as he has his little pumpkin hat.
I love it.
But
Oh.
this year at WCHA, I'm
Uh-huh.
really excited because
Yeah.
the gentleman that we got our yearling through, that Dr. Leggett that had passed away,
Mhm.
he
Mhm.
was such an ambassador of sportsmanship. And if any pictures you saw, he always was smiling and was always out there, as an amateur, super excited to show.
Mhm.
And it was really like his drive. And
Mhm.
so I thought, what a special way to remember him. So our family is going to sponsor a memorial award based on sportsmanship, where people
Okay.
can nominate and vote during the week, and then we can present that at the end of the week. So just personally, that I'm really excited about that this year, to see someone be recognized. And he didn't
Mhm.
have any children that showed horses, so he was like
Okay.
the horse lover in his family. And I thought, well, this will be a cool way that we remember him in the horse world, and all his contributions moving forward. And I love sportsmanship, so what a great way to recognize people that embody that spirit
Mhm.
as
Mhm.
well.
Mhm. I love it. Well, thank you, ladies, not only for your investment in the industry through sponsorships and really being ambassadors yourself, but thanks for your time and building into our community, telling kid listeners what it's like to show as an exhibitor, amateur exhibitor, and parents, some words of advice for parents as well.
Yes,
So, best of luck to you in the rest of your season at the
thank
shows,
you.
with your horses, and even with school. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Amy.
You
Bye.
bet.
Bye.